Let me know when I could start talking. No sound. Don't hear anything. Okay, well, hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Dr. Dolores Show on Inspired Choices Network. As you could tell, we're kind of coming out of Mercury retrograde, so there's a lot of stuff happening right now, including like sound and sound not working and stuff like that. But anyway, we just laugh and carry on here because there's not much you could do. And gosh forbid, if you lose your sense of humor now, it's over, folks. So please remember to keep your sense of humor. But we're going to be talking today, and sense of humor, that's another way of self-soothing as well. And I think today's topic is, we're so spot on with what we need to be talking about for ourselves and for our own toolkit and our survival during these very interesting and challenging times that we are going through. There's a lot going on, and for some people, they define it as a lot of adverse things. But how are you being to yourself during these times? So I felt that self-soothing would be the perfect thing to talk about. So, self-soothing is like one of those things that it's about resilience. It's about moving through difficult times, even though the appearance seems to be really difficult on the outside, but on the inside, it may not be that difficult. It gives the illusion. I think we're living in a lot of illusion right now, of what is happening in our world and how we are maneuvering through that. So if you keep that in mind, I feel that you have the upper hand and you are in more control of how you are being in your world. Okay. When we talk about self-soothing, it's anything that we could do that's going to calm our nervous system, because our nervous system has a tendency to become overregulated, and we're been overstimulated, overexposed to stress. And over lifetimes and over our lifetime, this builds up and builds up, and it gets to the point where if you don't learn how to um, bring your nervous system into balance, you're going to really have a lot of problems, as far as with your cortisol being out of whack, but also with you being in constant fight, flight, or flee, or even freeze mode, because that's how you react to something that is threatening threatening you. Your nervous system is what we call dysregulated, and it is just firing and firing and firing. And this is really funny because early on in my career, I've been in healthcare for well over 45 years. And I remember back in the 80s when I was working at Children's Hospital Philadelphia, I was going through some real stressful times, and I felt like I was always on edge, and like my adrenal glands were always firing. And I said something to one of the pediatricians one time. I said, "Is it possible to burn out your adrenals?" And he looked at me and he said, "No, I don't think so, because your body regulates." Well, little did he know, and what I knew at that time was pretty insightful, because that is basically what happens. It's like your adrenals are constantly firing, okay, because you're trying to calm your nervous system down, but yet you're in such a perpetual state of stress that you're constantly going, going, going. And guess what? When you burn yourself out, it's because your nervous system is dysregulated. Okay. And many of us have lived through many, many things in our lifetime, and maybe even personally, maybe in the situations that we've all grown up in. Some of us have had very challenging early childhoods. And how do we, calm our nervous system so we are not feeling we're on guard and we feel safe and secure? Because a lot of us never really felt safe and secure, whether it's emotionally, mentally, spiritually, or even physically. So this is up for a lot of people right now. And it's no surprise that so many people have PTSD, because PTSD really is a form of a dysregulated nervous system. And it's because of being in a chronic hypervigilant state of stress continuously. So, and the thing to realize too, it's not about, self-soothing ourselves. It's not about ignoring our emotions or avoiding our emotions, but it's learning how to be with them safely. And we were never taught that as youngsters. We were never, because I don't even think our parents or grandparents or anybody else knew what this was all about. So it's just sometimes it just gets passed down generation to generation to generation, and it's time to heal that. And the best ways that we could heal that are to look at what we can do for ourselves to help and assist that. So I hope to, in this episode today, is to give you some more tools for your toolkit in order to allow you to be able to maneuver through life a lot easier with a lot more grace and calmness. Okay, especially calming your nervous system that has become really dysregulated. So, self-soothing differs from self-care or escapism. Self-soothing is more of what you can do to calm down your nervous system, and indirectly it's a form of self-care. I truly believe that that's self-care for a lot of people, when you're able to um, learn how to know what you need, listen to your body, what it needs, and then be able to tend to that. And I think what we need to remember too is that why we struggle to self-soothe is that, we weren't taught about emotional regulation when we were growing up. Many of us were taught to not feel. Anybody in that category? I know I grew up in a household where if anything was emotional or upsetting, we were told to ignore it, it'll go away. Well, it might do that for some people, but when you're an empath, intuitive, and highly sensitive person, and you tell that type of person to ignore it, it'll go away, guess what happens? It gets bigger and it doesn't go away, because it's energy, and what you resist persists. And so it's like it's like the elephant in the room, these energetic bubbles that are there that are still running your show, even though you cannot physically see it. Okay, maybe you may be tangibly able to feel it, but it's like for a lot of people, if they don't see it, it doesn't exist. That's not true. Energy is energy, and it goes on the whole gamut of the spectrum, where the denser forms of energy, like our physicality and what you're looking at in my office, is a denser form of energy. Whereas when we are thinking, feeling, or saying things to ourselves, that's also energy, but it's like radio waves. So it's constantly there. And I love the example, and I give this often, and I think this kind of hits it out of the park, is like everything is energy. For an example, maybe you have had a friend that you've known forever. You haven't seen them in maybe years, haven't talked to them in years. You think about them. They live somewhere in another part of the world, and the next day or two, you get a phone call from them. This is what energy is about. And this is a very simple version of how energy works. It's invisible, it's there, it's very tangible, you could feel it, and people pick up on the vibes and the frequency. So this is all good. So circling back to why we struggle to self-soothe is that, number one, we don't know how to do it. the role of stress, trauma, and overwhelm has deregulated our nervous system. And it's not just a one and done incident, it's like a lifetime's worth of that. So it's like stuffing a knapsack with so much stress. The knapsack is busting at the seams, and finally it breaks away, and all this stuff is there to deal with. When we have dysregulated nervous system, it puts a lot of stress on our body. Okay. We talk about cortisol levels. Cortisol is one of those hormones that um, helps regulate the nervous system, like the parasympathetic and the sympathetic nervous system, the fight or flight, but we're constantly in sympathetic stress, 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 stress. Look at what's happening in our world today. There's a lot of stress going on. It's a constant. That's like, and that's not what it's supposed to be, but yet that's how people deal with the chronic underlying stress that we have turned into what is, we've normalized it, which is really a shame because that's not what it was ever meant to be. When we are in constant fight or flight or freeze or flee mode, it puts a lot of stress on your body because you never know when the shoe's going to drop on the other foot. Things might be going well, and then all of a sudden you're constantly worried and anxious. And this is like I want to say the fuel that continues to perpetuate this dysregulating nervous system. So, some of the things that we can do, one of the simplest things you could do is just breathe, believe it or not. And there's a reason why we tell you to breathe because it's like when we're in stress mode, we're shallow breathing. We're not taking a deep breath. You're breathing from your upper chest, and you're not fully engaging that breath into your body that's going to allow you to anchor it into your physical body so you could become in the present moment. When we shallow breathe, it kind of goes hand in hand with being in your head a lot of times because you're worried, you're stressed, you're anxious, you're trying to figure things out. When you're able to really take a deep breath in and fill your whole body with that breath and hold it there and then breathe it out, it's like we're slowing down that feeling that we're on the proverbial I'm going to say hamster wheel. Okay. It's just like you're constantly going and going and going. And it's just like, it just keeps going and you just can't get off. So that's why it's really important to focus on like your breath. And believe it or not, I believe I read this someplace that the military, like especially for the Navy SEALs, when they're in really stressful situations, they do what we're going to talk about here, a simple breathing technique called box breathing. Okay, and box breathing is like where you inhale for 4, you hold it for 4, you breathe it out for 4, and there's that pause there for 4 seconds, and then you inhale again for 4, pause for 4, exhale for 4, pause for 4. So it's like it resembles a box, okay? 4 seconds, 4 seconds, 4 seconds, 4 seconds. If you're able to do that, that is really a great way to get you to stop the hamster wheel and, get you reconnect to your body, center your mind, and lower your cortisol level, okay? Very, very important. We have a tendency sometimes just to forget the simpleness of just breathing, but it's essential and it's important. And we're getting ready to go on our first break. So you're listening to the Dr. Dolores Show on Inspired Choices Network. And I'm Dr. Dolores Mazzino, nurse practitioner, medical intuitive, and energy whisperer. And we're talking about, um, you know, resilience, and also the art of self-soothing. So essential and important right now. So stay tuned, and when we return, we'll share some more.
Do you trust your instincts? Many of us don't. Yet this is the key to connecting to your innate healer within and your intuition. Tune in to the Dr. Dolores Show with nurse practitioner, medical intuitive, and energy whisperer, Dr. Dolores Fazzino, to receive insights and tools to realign with your inner wisdom for lasting health and true wellness. Listen for the Dr. Dolores Show, Wednesdays at 3 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Central, 1 p.m. Mountain, 12 p.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com.
Ready to break free from complacency? Welcome to I'm Awake, Now What? Your monthly invitation to embrace conscious living. If you've been feeling lost or stagnant, this is your chance to awaken your purpose. Join our transformative conscious wake-up office hours every month for guidance and self-discovery. Experience the power of clarity and focus as you navigate towards holistic healing and empowerment. Don't just survive, thrive. Sign up now and unlock a wealth of benefits, including enhanced well-being, stress reduction, emotional healing, and connection. It's time to ignite the flames of purpose within and start your journey to a fulfilling life.
Are you a subject matter expert? Are you here to share your expertise with an audience waiting to hear from you in only the way you can deliver? Are you ready to have your voice amplified across the airwaves? Inspired Choices Network has a global radio platform streaming to millions of people across the world. Professionally produced and supported by an accomplished team every step of the way, you can broadcast from anywhere in the world, knowing your voice matters, and we ensure it is delivered with ease and efficiency. Eager to hear your message, the world awaits. Contact us today to become an Inspired Choices Network radio host. Email become a host at inspiredchoicesnetwork.com.
This is the Dr. Dolores Show with Dr. Dolores Fazzino, nurse practitioner, medical intuitive, and energy whisperer. To participate in the program, join the live studio audience in our chat room at inspiredchoicesnetwork.com. You can also send an email to Dolores at drdoloresfazzino.com. Now, back to the program.
And welcome back, everybody. You're listening to the Dr. Dolores Show on Inspired Choices Network, and we're talking about the art of self-soothing today on our show. And I feel that this is very timely because there's a lot of stuff happening in our world today, and sometimes it could be daunting and overwhelming, and sometimes we just don't know what to do next. And the best thing that you can do is to do what you can to keep yourself and your nervous system regulated. And when we are really needing to soothe ourselves, it's like a lot of times our nervous system gets deregulated over a lifetime worth of stress and chronic stress. And it's learning how to slow our nervous system down, allow it to heal, and to come to ground zero with in ourselves so that we could have that certainty, that calm, and um, that balance that we also need and also crave. So before we went on break, we were talking about how important breath work is, and we talked about the 4-4-4-4 pattern of breathing, where you inhale for 4, hold for 4, exhale for 4, hold for 4. It's called box breathing. I think this is one of the simpler ways to really focus and get you grounded into your body. Breathing's important. Also, being mindful and doing some type of grounding exercise for yourself. For those who have never had that experience of grounding themselves, being present in your body actually helps you dysregulate um, your nervous system as well, because it's happening right here, right now, in the present moment. Because when you're in your body, this is the present moment instead of you being in your head, in the past, the future, and creating a lot of chaos and worry and stress and anxiety. When we're in the present moment, we're anchoring in the now. So, for those of you who are interested, go to my website. You could get a free download of Being in the Present Moment. And this is going to help you stay grounded in the present moment. You will definitely feel a difference of what it's like to be right here, right now, if you have not had that experience before. So go to my website and get a copy of that. It's drdoloresfazzino.com. Another way of helping you with your dysregulated nervous system is energy healing. What that does, it supports the nervous system regulation. And some examples are like tapping, hands-on healing, even body talk. My personal go-to is rapid eye therapy or a rapid eye technique. And I find that that's been very, very helpful for me with my dysregulated nervous system that pops up on occasion. Somatic tools like movement, humming, shaking, gentle touch is another way to discharge stress. And this is even more so important, especially if you are like the freezer type. Some people will fight, they get really into fighting back. Some people will just flee and leave, flight. And some people just freeze like the deer in the headlights and they just take that all on and they don't know what to do with it. So, by doing movement, humming, shaking, it's like this is a way of self-soothing yourself and actually getting that stuck and trapped energy that is dysregulating your system out of your body. And that's so, so, so essential. Qigong is another way to do that as well, if that's something that interests you. Is so my key thing here is I want you to create your own self-soothing toolkit, and it's going to be unique for you and what's going to work for you. Um, identify some tools that you could have that are going to help you when you know that you are like, spiraling out of control and you feel like um, you're just being overwhelmed. Your nervous system is being overwhelmed. It's about doing things consistently. So keep it simple. You want to be able to do something that's going to be easy, fast, and you're going to able to get some results from it and some relief instead of keeping it complex. My big MO is like I like to keep things simple because the simpler they are, the more effective they tend to be. When we start, you know, having complex ways of doing things, it's adds more stress and more anxiety to things. You know, one thing I want to say is like 2 minutes may seem like a long time, but 2 minutes of self-soothing can shift energy and perception. So just know that. Um, it's not just doing it once, it's just doing it for about 2 minutes and see how you feel and reevaluate yourselves. So when you're able to start regulating and self-regulating yourself, you're really going to step into a broader version of who you are. And I want to circle back just a little bit to why people weren't taught emotional regulation, because I think it's really important and many people may relate to some of these things. And I just want to let them acknowledge this and let people know that this is probably part of the issue. And I'm just going to read a little bit. As children, many of us were never shown how to manage big emotions. We may have been told to stop crying, calm down, be quiet, go to your room, instead of being guided through the emotional experience. This lack of modeling creates adults who feel overwhelmed by emotion, either shut down or lash out under stress. What we have to remember is this is emotional regulation is a learned skill. And the good news is that you could learn this skill at any stage of your life. So, it's never too late to learn that. The other thing is like when we experience stress and trauma, it's the cumulative experiences that really affect our nervous system. And that's how we become dysregulated. We could have chronic feelings of anxiety, irritability, emotional numbness, or even burnout. And we have no reason why, no, we can't really understand why this is happening. But yet, like I was saying, when it's a chronic stressor, or that it's a cumulative effect over time, okay, that does that. So, and our body holds on to unresolved experiences, because remember, everything is energy. That energy was never resolved or experienced, and it got trapped in our physical body. When that happens, it's like we start to have a lot of somatization, meaning that you're going to feel aches and pains and things in your body when you're stressed out. And I love the whole, I could give you an example of this. It's like sometimes just imagine when you're triggered about something, okay? It's just like you're triggered and oh my God, it's just like you're like your nervous system is just getting ramped up, and you feel maybe some pain in your gut, your solar plexus, and and your thoughts are racing in your head, but they're also in your body too, because there's a somatic response to whatever you're experiencing. We have been taught to ignore the body or be totally disconnected from the body, but the body is a huge resource for us, because it's going to allow you to tap into what may be happening to you on a more unconscious level than you're aware of. And when you're able to feel what is happening when you're having these thoughts, this is time for you to come into alignment and have a relationship with your mind and your body together. So the two of those things could align together and play nicely in the sandbox. When you're able to move beyond the fight, flight, or freeze, you're going to be able to move beyond your chronic state of survival. And believe me, there's a lot in our world right now that's probably stimulating and just triggering, stimulating, and really making you question your security, your safety. And, when you don't feel that you're safe enough to relax, just remember we start having some other problems. Your cortisol levels will increase, your digestion may be impaired, you're going to have sleep disturbances, and you can probably also, become foggy. So, self soothing techniques can help signal the brain and body that we are safe, allowing us to exit survival mode and return to a place of calm, clarity, and connection, and also thriving mode. Okay. So, I'm just, we talked about ways to restore balance. The breathing thing is huge. Mindfulness and grounding, anchoring the now. And I want to talk about anchoring the now. This is a real cool technique that I think people would really benefit from hearing about. It's called the 5 4 3 2 1. You name 5 things you see, 4 you can touch, 3 you hear, 2 you smell, and 1 you taste. Okay. This is about keeping you fully present in the moment. So the 5 4 3 2 1 method, name 5 things you could see in your environment when you're feeling really all over the map. 4 that you can touch, 3 you hear, 2 you smell, and 1 you taste. So we're going to go on to our next break right now, and we've been talking about the art of self regulation on the Dr. Dolores Show today, and I'm Dr. Dolores Fazzino, nurse practitioner, medical intuitive, and energy whisperer, and we're on the Inspired Choices Network. And when we come back, we'll put this all together and give you a guided meditation experience as to have that peace so you can anchor this in. See you on the other side.
Do you trust your instincts? Many of us don't. Yet this is the key to connecting to your innate healer within and your intuition. Tune in to the Dr. Dolores Show with nurse practitioner, medical intuitive, and energy whisperer, Dr. Dolores Fazzino, to receive insights and tools to realign with your inner wisdom for lasting health and true wellness. Listen for the Dr. Dolores Show, Wednesdays at 3 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Central, 1 p.m. Mountain, 12 p.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com.
Ready to break free from complacency? Welcome to I'm Awake, Now What? Your monthly invitation to embrace conscious living. If you've been feeling lost or stagnant, this is your chance to awaken your purpose. Join our transformative conscious wake-up office hours every month for guidance and self-discovery. Experience the power of clarity and focus as you navigate towards holistic healing and empowerment. Don't just survive, thrive. Sign up now and unlock a wealth of benefits, including enhanced well-being, stress reduction, emotional healing, and connection. It's time to ignite the flames of purpose within and start your journey to a fulfilling life.
How wonderful would it be to carry your favorite Inspired Choices Network host with you throughout your day? Well, now you can. Inspired Choices Network now has its very own mobile app. Our free app offers live streaming shows, along with thousands of podcasts and TV episodes. Our shows cover a wide variety of topics. Whether you're waking up with us, carrying us through the day, and taking us to bed with you, we're always here for you to enjoy. We're easy to find. Just search for Inspired Choices Network in the Apple App Store or Google Play Store.
This is the Dr. Dolores Show with Dr. Dolores Fazzino, nurse practitioner, medical intuitive, and energy whisperer. To participate in the program, join the live studio audience in our chat room at InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. You can also send an email to Dolores at drdoloresfazzino.com. Now, back to the program.
And welcome back, everybody. You've been listening to the Dr. Dolores Show. I'm Dr. Dolores Fazzino, nurse practitioner, medical intuitive, and energy whisperer. And I'm just cracking myself up because I'm getting my words mixed up, and it's kind of funny. We've been talking about self-soothing today on our show, and self-soothing is something that we probably need to start developing within ourselves because we have been in very interesting times in humanity's ascension and evolution, and not just here in the US of A, but globally as well. A lot of things are happening. A lot of paradigms are shifting, are crumbling. Things that were status quo and you could bet your paycheck on are no longer consistent, and lots of changes. And I really feel that we are moving through some things that are really going to, once we get to the other side of it, I think we're going to see a far better opportunity for many of us, and a much better life as well too. So with that in mind, it's like we're all on our own personal journey, and sometimes when we're going through things, we get wickedly stressed out, and we are just been on automatic our entire life with our stress and how we deal with it. So it's almost like we're on um, constant deregulation of our nervous system, for the big words. It's like nervous system, you have your sympathetic, which is your stress, and the parasympathetic, which is the peace. And it's like we've been in sympathetic mode, sympathetic mode, stress mode for God knows how long. And it's not just a one and done, it's like a cumulative effect over your entire lifetime. and it carries over. And it is actually triggered to the point where this is like the new norm. It's been labeled like the new norm when it doesn't have to be. We've been programmed into believing that that is the truth, and it's not. I want to show you a different way to do things, and I'm hoping that this episode is showing you that. We talked about breathing and how essential that is. We talked about the box breathing, for in, for out, uh, for in, for hold, for out, for hold. It's a box. And this is going to help you regulate and get you into your body. And when you do any type of regulation exercise for about 2 minutes, you're going to feel a change. And I know 2 minutes could feel like a long stretch of time, but it's really not that long. Also, guided meditation. Anything that's you're going to be able to do to ground yourself in your physical body is going to be essential, because when you're in your physical body, you're in the present moment. When you're in the present moment, you're not in stress mode, you're in B mode. Okay. When you're in your head, this is where you pop into stress, anxiety, and worry. When we are in our bodies and we are breathing appropriately and also grounded, our cortisol levels are going to diminish and come back to normal levels. The cortisol is an indicator, it's a hormone that measures stress in the body. And I would imagine that many people's cortisol levels are off the charts right now. So this is going to assist in lowering your cortisol level. That's going to help with stress and anxiety as well. So let's hop into, oh yeah, we also talked about 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. When you're really stressed out, look at 5 things that you could see in your environment, 4 things that you could feel in your environment, 3 or 4 that you could touch, 3 that you could feel, 2 that you could, I think it's smell, and then the first one is to taste. So the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 modality is another thing to help as well. And just remember that there's always a somatic response, and what that means is this: there is, for everything that you feel, there is a physical presence to that, a physical component. So that's just important to be aware of as well. So we're going to step into a guided meditation, and we're going to call it a self-soothing journey. And so I'm just going to invite you just to take this time just for you. It's a time to soften, to settle, and return to the sanctuary within yourself. So go ahead and find a comfortable position, whether you're seated, lying down, or even gently walking. Just close your eyes or soften your gaze if that feels better as well. Not when you're walking, though, okay? Let's begin with the breath. Just take a gentle breath in through your nose and exhale softly through your mouth. Again, breathing in calm and exhaling any tension or heaviness. Now begin to breathe naturally in and out through your nose, bringing your awareness to the rise and fall of your breath. There's nothing to do, nowhere to go, just this moment. Allow the breath to cradle you like a gentle wave. With each exhale, invite your body to soften just a little more. Release the jaw, the shoulders, the belly. Let gravity hold you. Let the earth support you. Now, bring your attention to the bottoms of your feet. Imagine roots gently growing from your feet into the earth. With every breath, they grow deeper, stronger, connecting you to safety, stability, to grounded calm. Feel yourself anchored, supported, held. Bring awareness to your heart space now and gently place a hand there if you feel called. As you breathe into your heart, say softly to yourself, "In this moment, I am safe." In this moment, I choose peace. I am here for myself with kindness and compassion. Let these words settle in. Now, imagine a soft golden light above your head, like warm sunlight radiating down and kissing your head. With each inhale, this light begins to pour down into your body, filling your mind, your heart, your belly, your legs, all the way down to your toes. This golden light brings healing. It melts tension. It wraps you in comfort. If you're holding any emotional heaviness, imagine this light surrounding that space in your body. Maybe in your chest, your throat, or your belly. No need to change or fix anything. Just hold it in loving awareness. You may say, "It's okay to feel this. I am with you. I am safe to let this soften." Feel the light doing its work gently and lovingly. Now, return your awareness to your breath once again. Feel the rhythm. Feel the calm that's beginning to bloom inside of you. You may begin to notice a little more space, a little more stillness, a softer inner smile even. Let yourself rest here for a few more breaths, enjoying the peace you've created for yourself. As we begin to close this meditation, repeat silently or out loud, I have the power to soothe and support myself. Peace lives within me, and I can return to it anytime I choose. And take one final nourishing breath in and slowly exhale. Begin to wiggle your fingers and toes, bringing your awareness back into the space you're in, carrying this calm with you like a gentle glow. And when you're ready, slowly open your eyes and welcome yourself back. Welcome back, everybody, and we're going to segue on to our last break from the episode. And you're listening to the Dr. Dolores Show on Inspired Choices Network. And I'm Dr. Dolores Fazzino, nurse practitioner, medical intuitive, and energy whisperer. And when we return, we'll wrap it up for this shift.
Do you trust your instincts? Many of us don't. Yet this is the key to connecting to your innate healer within and your intuition. Tune in to the Dr. Dolores Show with nurse practitioner, medical intuitive, and energy whisperer, Dr. Dolores Fazzino, to receive insights and tools to realign with your inner wisdom for lasting health and true wellness. Listen for the Dr. Dolores Show, Wednesdays at 3 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Central, 1 p.m. Mountain, 12 p.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com.
Ready to break free from complacency? Welcome to I'm Awake, Now What? Your monthly invitation to embrace conscious living. If you've been feeling lost or stagnant, this is your chance to awaken your purpose. Join our transformative conscious wake-up office hours every month for guidance and self-discovery. Experience the power of clarity and focus as you navigate towards holistic healing and empowerment. Don't just survive, thrive. Sign up now and unlock a wealth of benefits, including enhanced well-being, stress reduction, emotional healing, and connection. It's time to ignite the flames of purpose within and start your journey to a fulfilling life.
This is the Dr. Dolores Show with Dr. Dolores Fazzino, nurse practitioner, medical intuitive, and energy whisperer. To participate in the program, join the live studio audience in our chat room at InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. You can also send an email to Dolores at drdoloresfazzino.com. Now, back to the program.
And welcome back, everybody. You're listening to the Dr. Dolores Show on Inspired Choices Network, and I'm Dr. Dolores Fazzino, nurse practitioner, medical intuitive, and energy whisperer. And we've been talking about self-soothing today on our show, but I just want to do a little sidebar right now and do a little infomercial for my audience. And I have a question for you. Have you ever found yourself asking, I'm awake, now what? If so, you're not alone and you're in the right place. I myself, Dr. Dolores Fazzino, and together with a good friend of mine, Cozy Stankadis, a body talk practitioner, are inviting you into a powerful heart-led community designed just for you. I'm Awake Now What is a sacred space for those navigating their spiritual awakening, where the journey is a deep, the conversations are real, and you never have to figure it out alone. Each month or each week, we host Conscious Business Hours, where you have the opportunity to receive guidance, insight, clarity, tools, and support for your awakening journey. We're here to walk beside you, to help you integrate your awakening into your real life and to celebrate your evolution every step of the way. Whether you're feeling overwhelmed, activated, or wildly curious, this community meets you exactly where you are. So join us inside the I'm Awake, Now What community. Your awakening has a home, your questions have a space, and your path just became a little more supported. Just go to my website, drdoloresfazino.com, and click on the link, I'm Awake Now What, and you'll find more information. So, we've had an interesting episode where we're talking about self soothing today. And I think the timing of this, as I mentioned, is just essential because there's a lot out there that's like the tip, it's like creating this tip of the iceberg of something deeper that we really need to look at. And it's about creating a more peaceful time within ourselves because our nervous systems have been on stress overload, and it's a time for us to come back into balance, to regulate our dysregulated nervous system, and to gain more perspective and also have more power within ourselves. And this is the best way that I found to do that, so you feel like, especially when you're feeling out of control, to get you into more control. So anyway, some takeaways from today's episode. Self-soothing is a powerful, learnable skill. And we weren't taught how to do this. It empowers you to respond to your life with grace instead of reactivity. Your nervous system is your ally, not your enemy. And chronic stress and trauma can keep us stuck in survival mode. Calming the nervous system helps bring you back to balance, clarity, and presence. Practicing breath work, mindfulness, and energy healing are gentle tools that work. These are simple techniques that allow you to shift your internal state in just minutes. You don't need hours, you just need intention. And in 2 minutes or less, you could shift that. Somatic practices help release stored tension because everything is energy, remember. And a lot of people store energy in their body, and you might be a fight, flight, or a freeze type of person. And when you're a freeze type of person, that energy gets stuck in your body, and we need to move it out to its sweet. And lastly, your self soothing toolkit is unique to you. Choose 3 to 5 tools that resonate and make them part of your daily rhythm. Even 2 mindful minutes can change your energy, mood, and mindset. So, as we close today's episode, I want to remind you that you hold the keys to your own peace. Self soothing isn't about fixing yourself, it's about creating safety, compassion, and care from the inside out. The more you practice returning to your breath, your body, and your inner stillness, the more resilient and empowered you become, no matter what life brings your way. Remember, you're not broken. You are becoming. Thank you for joining me today, and I hope that at least one self-soothing tool with you and begin using it with love. You deserve your own tenderness. Until next time, take care of your heart, be gentle with your process, and keep listening to that wisdom within. Remember, you are worth it.
Thank you for listening to the Dr. Dolores Show. Dr. Dolores returns Wednesdays at 3 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Central, 1 p.m. Mountain, 12 p.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. Until then, remember to be kind to yourself and create your best life. You are worth it.